Leader of the opposition and Miku South MP Alan Chasney is declaring victory in the Privileges Committee legal row with House Speaker Claudius Francis. Both Castries Central MP Richard Frederick and Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire have accused the leader of the opposition of making misleading statements to Parliament. On Tuesday, an electronic copy of a consent order began making the rounds on social media, detailing the outcome of the legal matter. The High Court has ruled that Francis, as House Speaker, had no power to refer complaints from a member of the House to another legislator in the lower house to the Committee of Privileges regarding privileges or contempt. The leader of the opposition UWP, which summoned the media to a press conference on Wednesday, wasted no time in basking in this development, calling for Francis to step aside.
I have to say that the only remedy to this situation is that the Speaker ought to do the right thing after embarrassing and undermining the reputation of the Parliament of St. Lucia and the country of St. Lucia, despite all of the advice that he'd been given, which he chose to ignore, causing the state to have to spend unnecessarily, in these very difficult times, thousands of dollars to make up for his mistake, and the clear evidence that this had to be political victimization at the expense of the reputation of St. Lucia and at the expense of the taxpayers of this country. He should resign.
Political leader Alan Chasney, who last year declared himself bazooka-proof, a reference to the rhetorical battle with the presiding officer, is not ruling out steps by the opposition to introduce a motion in Parliament calling for a vote of no confidence against the House Speaker.
There should be a vote of no confidence in the Speaker in the House if he refuses to leave. Because moving forward, how can anybody trust any decision he's made when he's acted so irresponsibly, so callously on this particular situation?
So what's about the legal cost? Are taxpayers on the hook? Chasney demurred when reporters pressed him for answers on the court award of costs and incidentals against the House Speaker.
I'll let the government answer that question. I can only tell you it was thousands of dollars. Because you were talking about the QC having, in a matter of 4 days, QK now, Casey now, King's Counsel, right? To have put a team of people together to get all the precedences and put this thing together over an entire weekend and prepare to debate. And remember, it started with the writing of the letter. And the writing of the letter, I was willing to pay for that. There would be no opportunity for me to have recovered the cost on that. And that's what was so embarrassing. And then to have the Speaker and his lawyers come to the case on Monday and say, okay, we know we were wrong, and we're simply not going to proceed, is again an embarrassment.
Chasney, who waxed philosophical about the win in this legal round, claimed that the triumph is not one of vindication, but rather disappointment. He alleges it's evidence of the ineptitude and the incompetence of the government. The legal outcome, it should be noted, is separate from the substantive parliamentary matter over whether the opposition leader misled the House when he made damning allegations against Dr. Ernest Hilaire and Richard Frederick, which the two have vehemently denied and characterized as false. Sources tell Newsforce, once the procedure is followed, a motion from the aggrieved lawmakers can be debated and voted on in the House, and Chasney may have to provide proof of his claims in full view of the public in a hearing of the Privileges Committee. Solange Alfred, HTS Newsforce.